My dear friends, our gospel text is from Luke chapter 12, from verse 30 to 21, and recounts the parable of the rich fool. The theme is beware of greed. My hope is to explain the parable and to share the lesson we need to learn from it. It is said that greed makes man blind and foolish and makes him an easy prey for death. This is exactly what Jesus would like us to guard against. The text begins with a request. Teacher, tell my brother to share the inheritance with me. One is curious if this request isn't just. Doesn't justice demand that inheritance is shared equally? My dear friends, it's important to understand what the law stipulates when it comes to the sharing of property. From Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 17, the law makes it clear that the oldest son receives a double portion of the inheritance. So if this is what the law states, then why is the man asking Jesus to tell the brother to share the inheritance with him? So behind a question that appears to be just is actually greed. Jesus, by asking the question, friend, who appointed me as your judge and arbitrator, is implying that it's not going to be a judge over that which has already been stipulated in the law. Jesus then seizes the opportunity to teach the crowd on greed. So he said, take care to guard against all greed. For though one may be rich, one's life does not consist of possessions. My dear friends, Jesus went ahead and gave a parable, and it's the parable of the rich fool. In this parable, a man had a bountiful harvest. He then creates a bigger storage for his goods to be stored for many years. As he says to himself, rest, eat, drink, and make merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded of you. My dear friends, on the surface, the rich man had a perfectly prudent plan, that is planning for the future. As we all know, it is a good thing to plan for the future. But the main challenge is a constant focus on himself. The passage says that he asked himself, what shall I do? For I do not have space to store my harvest. And he said, this is what I shall do. I shall tear down my barns and build larger ones. There I shall store all my grain and other goods. And I shall say to myself, now as for you, you have many good things stored for many years. Rest, eat, drink, be merry. So it's all about him. Whatever he got, he never thought about charity to the poor or the needy. There was also no reference to God. He was self-centered. He was greedy. He was selfish. It was all about him. The I, the I, the I. My dear friends, the lesson is that whenever we have material gifts, though we may have worked so hard for them, we have to remember that the poor and the needy must also benefit from them. Because the blessings we receive are not just for us, but for us and for others. Jesus, by this parable, teaches us that a life centered on greedy ambition and satisfaction is actually devoid of meaning. The fool is oblivious that his life will end together with all the accumulated wealth. However, a genuinely fruitful life involves charity towards others and detachment from material goods. May the Lord bless us all. Amen.